Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the 6570 Family Project podcast. You guys, I can't believe we're on episode 19 already. This has been such a fun adventure this year. I can't wait to have 1,000 episodes out here. But right now we're on episode 19, which sounds so big and such a baby at the same time. And I love it. Thank you for being here. If you've been here since episode 1, thank you. Thank you. If this is your first episode, thank you. Thank you. Because if you are showing up here, it means you are stepping up and stepping in as an intentional parent. And if you do that and we're raising our kids within the 65-70, that's how many days are in 18 years. If we step into that zone and we are training and helping and equipping them in that time, you are helping them build the foundation that will be their foundation for the rest of their life. They'll be able to stand on it, lean on it when they need to, and launch from it time and time and time again. And that's what we're doing here. We are making or helping our kids and training them up to be self-led leaders with self-led discipline. And we're having a whole bunch of fun along the way too. I am a huge believer in big belly laughs, kitchen dance parties, being goofy and being fun, and teaching leadership and discipline. So let's dive into today, you guys. Today is called The Beauty of Predictability and the beauty of when you break it, right? And why is this? Because, well, I had a recent break of this last weekend. I'll tell you about in a little while, and it reminded me of this beauty. And with my clients, a lot of times I help them develop what their routines are going to be, right? Because if you have a routine, you have a schedule, within a schedule. Maybe for us, for example, I have many parts of my day, right? I have my morning and I have a morning routine schedule, right? And then I have school. I still homeschool three of the 4 of my kids. And there is a schedule within that. And then I have my work schedule, which is a schedule within that. And then we have family time. And guess what? There's a schedule within that. And why are schedules so important? It's because they have that predictability. They have that flow. Everyone knows where they stand. Everyone knows what's coming up. Spontaneous is so cool, so awesome. And that's where we get into breaking it, but you can build in spontaneity. For example, my family time is from 6 to 9 every night, right? Monday through Friday, 6 to 9. The weekends, we have family time, of course, but we're doing different things and what have you. But Monday through Friday, 6 to 9, that is our family time. We don't have phones. We are just focused on each other. We're going on walks. We're, making dinner, we're cleaning up, or doing whatever. And so that is flexibility in there, whatever we do, but that is our time. And then, for example, every Tuesday and every Thursday, we have one-on-one time with our kids so that our kids can know that every week they're going to have time just in a room by themselves, sitting one-on-one with a parent, and we just goof off. We have serious talks if they need to be. We play a game if we need to be. We play with gerbils because all of our daughters have animals. Gerbils are fish. We do these things, and we have that one-on-one time at 9:00 from 9 to 9:30 on Tuesday and 9 to 9:30 on Thursday. So again, we are having that schedule and predictability, but within that schedule is where the spontaneity can happen. I hope that makes sense to you. And with me in the morning, because I have all of these different hats that I put on, with business and entrepreneurship and homeschool mom and parent and just myself and what I do, I need to be more rigid. So I have very specific things that I do every single morning that starts with moving my body, and I get a lot of reading in, I get some journaling in, I obviously shower and get ready for the day in there, and I check to see what's coming up for the day, and I make a list of what my day is going to look like so that I know, okay, I don't need to freak out. There's nothing that's going to come up and, bite me and be spontaneous and not such a good way. And I know what's coming up. And with school and with vacations, right? And different things like this on our board, which I have an entire board system that I taught my home way, way back when I was teaching how to teach your kid in homeschool. Because it was much less about what curriculum to use and all of that. I could care less what curriculum you use. That is your decision and what feels right for you. But what I was teaching was how to actually teach in a home and what functionalities, mindsets, and tactics we can use for that, using discipline and leadership. And that's what I do for whole families inside and outside of education now. But with that, they know when a test is coming up. How many of you, I mean, raise your hand silently wherever you're or raise an eyebrow, wherever you're listening to this, you still have those nightmares of showing up to school and you're like, there's a test today and I had no idea, right? We don't want those. We don't, need that fear in our kiddos or ourselves anymore. I'm in my 40s. I still have that nightmare. And so we have that predictability. This is what is coming up. And then, eventually as they're getting older, they have their own planner. Like we're passing over the reins, right? We're passing down that 6,570 foot rope and handing more and more over to them along the way. Okay, so that is why, those are all the reasons why a schedule is so good, right? You have predictability, you significantly lower stress, right? You know what's coming up, you have free time built in to your schedule so that you don't have to think, oh, I'm always working, oh, I'm always studying, oh, I'm always doing this, I have no free time. Well, if you build in the free time, then you will have free time, right? I can look at your family's calendar. If you give me 2 weeks of any of the year, probably outside of the holidays, because that's always crazy, right? But if you give me 2 weeks of your calendar, I can definitely tell you what your priorities are, where you're stretched thin, where you could use some guidance and mentoring, and where you're really strong too. If it's on your calendar, that's where it counts. Right? Okay. So awareness, predictability, all the good things, but sometimes you need to be reminded of the benefits of that routine, right? As good as it is. And think about this, right? Every single year, this is the best example. Every single year when school gets out, everyone's like, we're free, we're free, we're free. And then every single year when school gets back in session, it's like, we're back. We're back to a routine. We're back settled again. I know what's actually going to happen tomorrow, right? And that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? A routine is so good, but getting off routine is also so good. And it's kind of this whole mentality of absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? And think about this, though, in our crazy kooky world that we've been living in for the last couple of years with COVID, we had more all together time. We had sometimes more schedules, sometimes less schedules, sometimes just trying to figure out what was going on, right? And so COVID has really thrown a wrench into every aspect of everything. But especially when or not especially, but also when it comes to scheduling and predictability, right? I mean, I still know I talk to kids in my community, and my oldest is in a school outside of our home too. And they still have this, I wouldn't call it a fear, but a little bit of anxiety of, oh, it's fall break. I don't know if we're going to come back after fall break. You just never know, because it was in 2020 that March 13th, I remember it clear as day. It was a Saturday. It was the first day of spring break, and they never went back. And they had no idea. The parents, I don't even know if any of us knew what was going to happen. I don't think any of us thought, oh, the entire world is going to shut down for the next several months. I don't think that was on many of our radars. But for the kids, it really just moved them sideways. Wait a second. We're just on spring break, and now we're not going back for the rest of the year, right? And so there's still some of that anxiety going in. all that to say, COVID kind of threw a wrench into some things, but I want to give you some ideas of what you could do for yourself. And one of them is a mommycation, daddycation type thing. I actually first saw this. Some of you will probably laugh at me for this, but I used to watch back in the day. Goodness, I don't know if I was in high school or what, but Seventh Heaven. Anyone remember Seventh Heaven? And it was actually, I found out not too long ago, was the WB's first like hit show that they had. It was Seventh Heaven. And the mom, who I think they had like 38 kids or something. I don't remember. No, it was like, I don't know, 7 or something. And she got to this point that she was breaking down. Don't ask me what season this was in or what have you. I have no idea, but I just remember she was getting so stressed and so broken down that she left for a few days. And she said, I need to go and be by myself. She went to the beach and she had this. And I remember thinking then she waited too long. She waited too long. Imagine if every year she had like 2 days or so, maybe even just one day that she could go and just be by herself, recoup, journal, just walk without all the questions, right? All these things. And this isn't just for moms, this is for dads too. And, but I do have to say, and I'm a mom, so I'm probably biased, that I think moms get the brunt of much of what comes with family life. Not always. There are certainly exceptions. But if there was a teeter-totter, I think moms are a little bit heavier on that. And don't hate me. Don't send me the hate mail. If you are a super active dad out there, I am high-fiving you. And I think I am married to a super active dad too. I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, I think moms get the brunt of the mom, right? You're probably all nodding your heads right now. But having that time, not waiting for you to absolutely need it or you're going to implode, but using it more preventatively and breaking up that schedule, breaking up that everyday predictability can be really good. Family vacations also do the same thing. I cannot wait to go to Disney World. Oh, I cannot wait to get home from Disney World, right? All the things. And that comes from, we moved to our vacation spot. The place that we live right now, we vacationed at for 17 years. Over and over and over again. We first came here our sophomore year of college for spring break. We came back again junior year. We came back again the year after we graduated. We just kept coming back and back and back. All of our babies put their toes in the ocean for the first time here. We renewed our vows for our 10-year anniversary here, all the things. And finally, in 2014, we were here with a group of people. We have brought so many people to this area, coastal North Carolina. And we're walking down one of our favorite little roads. And my husband just looks at me and says, why do we keep leaving? Like, let's just stay. And I was so blown away. I never even thought of that as a possibility. But lo and behold, we waited another year to just see if it was a passing thought. It wasn't. We waited another year and we came back for 3 weeks to make sure this wasn't just a vacation spot, like we could actually live here. Turns out we could. All 6 of us voted, even though my youngest was 5. They were, they were 5, 7, 7, and 10 at the time. And all 6 of us voted yes, even though it was going to be really hard. And we sold everything, moved here all within 100 days. It was insane, but that was our decision. And we were so happy for it. But I mean, talk about jostling up the schedule. That was a jostle. But what about just a small thing? So what I was referring to earlier today is, or earlier in our talk, is last weekend, I just felt this weight of this schedule, this, okay, wake up every day and do this, 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 and this, and then this, 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 and this, and then this, you get the point. I just felt so encumbered by it. And so last Saturday, a friend of ours, a wonderful friend of ours, loves to take our girls. They went all to a corn maze and had so much fun. And it was just my husband and I. And we were like, what do we want to do today? We could do, we could clean up something. We could do the things that need to be done. or we could just go have fun, right? So we went to a town about an hour away. We had a fantastic lunch at this wonderful place. And then we went axe throwing, which was something new. Neither one of us had ever done before. Very cathartic, also, by the way, if you haven't tried it. It's so fun. And it really was just the thing that I needed to break up the predictability chain that was happening, even though we have that built in time. So there really is beauty in having predictable schedules, and it serves you. And there's also a lot of beauty in breaking them up, either big time or little time. Just go away for an afternoon, whatever that is. But breaking up that schedule can be so beneficial for you to help you realize, you know what, I can go do this. And you know what, that schedule is also really nice to get to. And I was thinking about this and I was like, it's kind of like if, kale is great, spinach is great, and it makes you function better. It makes you do better. It makes you think better. But that chocolate chip cookie reminds you of the adventure of life. If we're just sticking with food metaphors in here, I mean, a good hike reminds me of the adventure of life too. But just sticking with food, this is what I'm talking about. Kale and spinach, great, 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 great. That cookie that you have every once in a while is going to remind you, that is so good. By the way, I need to get back to eating kale because I feel kind of crappy now, but right. And so that it's the predictability is great and the breaking it is great. You can't live in one place for too long, right? You have to stir the pot. You have to stir things up a little bit. Okay, you guys, I hope this helped you a little bit. I would love to know about your schedules. Do you have a morning routine? Do you have a school routine? Meaning, if you homeschool, maybe you have a routine for that. Or when the kids go to school, what is your routine for that? What do you do during the day? And then what do you guys do for family time? Do you have any sort of schedule for that? And what do you do to break it and bust it open so you remember, hey, we can do this, and hey, the schedule is awesome. I want to hear from you. We are always building wonderful self-led discipline and leadership in this group, and I can't wait to hear what you're doing in your family. Thanks so much for being here. You're helping your family. You're helping the world. Happy building, you guys.